J.J. Buck.
Now, I told you last week and the week before this might be the year. And quite frankly, quite honestly, I'm surprised it lasted this long. I'm surprised it took this long. But just hours after the eliminating loss to Arkansas in the round of 32, Chris Jans is announced, or it was announced, it was broken, however you want to put it, I don't care. That Chris Jans is going to Mississippi State. He's going to be the new head coach for Mississippi State. And I'm going to tell you, Aggie fan, I'm proud of you for the most part. I'm proud of the way you've reacted to it because I think you realize it was the inevitable. And I think 99% of what I've seen is what I would hope it would be. Thank you, Coach. Good luck to you. You made us better. Best to you. Here's a great opportunity. Go do what's best for your family. But it's a bummer. I told a lot of people this yesterday, and in some respect I told Chris, stoked for you, bummed for us. Good morning to you. Merry Monday. It is the opening drive on an insanely busy Monday. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. What's up, dude? How you living?
What it do?
Well, it do so much. On a weekend that we watched so much go down from free agency in football, and there's a brand new richest contract ever, and it's that guy, and it's all guaranteed, to here's your Sweet 16, and whoa, they're in it and they're not, to your soccer team winning on the road, to your women's basketball team advancing to the Sweet 16, the WNIT, and the Aggie run is going to dominate the story today locally. And not just the Aggie run, but it's going to be what happened on Sunday morning, and you woke up to the news that Chris Jans is going to be the new coach at Mississippi State. I haven't seen numbers yet, JJ, of you as far as what Jans is going to make, but I'm going to guess it's going to be in the area of $1.8 to $2.2 million a year. I think he was making about probably about $650 a year at New Mexico State. And I told you last week, it just feels like this is the year. This is when it's going to happen. I think it was long overdue. I'm surprised you got to keep him for 5 years. You had a hell of a run. This is the way it is. And if it's a stepping stone, I don't know, everybody's a stepping stone. Everybody has moved from a job. Like I told you before, Roy Williams used Kansas as a stepping stone, if that's what you think a stepping stone is. But if that's what it is, it is. You say congratulations to Chris and Sherry. You say thank you for everything that you've done to New Mexico State to make them even better than they were before. You hope that you can keep it moving. You had a hell of a run to the NCAA tournament, and we could talk about the rock fight in the first half and them coming all the way back and taking the lead in the second half. And we will get into the game as well. But I sit here as a guy who, and JJ, you know, I consider Chris a friend. I'm happy for him. I'm stoked for him and Sherry. I'm stoked for their family. But I'm stoked for New Mexico State because he put them in an even better place than they were before. They are relevant. They won a game in the NCAA tournament for the first time, and you pick it, 2 or 4 decades, however many you want to decide, whichever list you want to go on. And this is just the way it is, and the man's going to go be able to set his family for the rest of all their lives.
It's business. And by this point in time, the majority of even college fans understand the pecking order, the landscape. They've been there, done that so many times already. So if you're a New Mexico State fan, you can't just sit there and be bitter about being a stepping stone. There's a hierarchy in college athletics. And the fact is, a team in the SEC is higher than you are. And it comes to the off-the-court stuff in regards to finances for coaches, facilities, competition. And that's one of the things Chris Jans mentioned in some of the videos that came out of what he was talking about yesterday, just the ability to play against the best players and coaches on a nightly basis in the SEC, and of course financially. It's all part of it. It's the career path of these coaches and Chris Jans. There's a lot of factors that went into it of why it took this long. You know, we did have COVID and some off seasons that did change stuff, but it was also the right way to go out if you're Chris Jans. You get that team an NCAA tournament victory. You get them to a place they haven't been in a very long time in the second round with an opportunity late in the game to go to the Sweet 16, and then you take your opportunity to go to the SEC.
He mentioned yesterday, and we'll find some Chris Jans sound for you. Let me give you a guest list first off. Mario Mocha is the athletic director at New Mexico State. He's going to be the man conducting the search, finding the new coach. He found Chris Jans to replace Paul Weir. He had Paul Weir replace Marvin Menzies before that. Mario Mocha will be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll talk about how it went down. We'll talk about the run, too. I mean, look, Aggie fan, this is a weird where are you? Like are you waking up this morning stunned? Are you in a daze? Are you still basking in a pretty good run in the NCAA tournament, beating UConn, fighting like hell against Arkansas, a really good team, your best run in 2 decades? Are you feeling good about that, or are you stunned that the Jans is gone, or did you realize this was coming? Because I'm going to guess it's got to be you realize this was coming. But we'll talk with Mario at 8 o'clock. 9:30 this morning, Johnny McCants is scheduled to be with us. He was a star on Saturday night. Johnny McCrucis, man, the mayor of Las Cruces. He was terrific, as Arkansas did an insanely good job on Teddy Buckets. Eric Musselman said Teddy Allen will not beat us. He's not going to be the guy. And Teddy went for 12. Johnny had 16 points, 12 rebounds. I thought he played his guts out in his final game. And not only, I mean, I thought he took a few too many threes. He hit 2 of the 7. But there were some good looks. But the way he kept balls alive, the way he defended, the way he fought, that drive down the lane and that dunk that I think brought him within 2 points and the big yell was something you'll remember forever. So Johnny's due to be with us coming up at 9:30. I thought he was terrific on Saturday night.
He was, but the Aggies, turnovers and missed layups, they were not ready for that moment in the first half. Arkansas defensively was really good, but it was the opportunity for someone else to step up. Jabari Rice, Clayton Henry, and they were just clanking everything. Because that defensive focus, as you said, was on Teddy Allen. There was, when you watch some of the breakdowns where they'd have Teddy Allen, if he'd had the basketball top of the key, they'd be sliding guides towards the elbow, trying to take things away from him, make life really tough. And that's a frustrating thing, is the moment was there and no one was really able to step up. McCants did a fantastic job, especially in that second half with some of the big momentum swinging plays, playing really hard. But you're just going to be living with a lot of what-ifs if you're some of those other guys, because there were shots that were there. Missed at the rim, missed some open threes. But with all that being said, in a game that was so bad offensively both ways, you know, the Aggies were able to bring it to a high level defensively. You had a chance. With all those things that were not going your way, you made sure it didn't look great for Arkansas. But their dudes, when you look at Note, Williams, they're just able to step up when it was really just John McCants by himself at times out there.
You know, I heard, the Aggies weren't ready, and they're poorly coached in their fundamentals, and I'm like, wait a minute, did you watch the other guys?
Yeah.
Did you watch what the other guys were doing? Like, was Arkansas poorly coached and not ready too? It was, 28-17 at halftime? I get it, they scored 17 points. And then they came back. So was Arkansas poorly coached? Like, sometimes defenses in the moment will take you out of what you're doing. One thing that surprised me, and I watched a fair amount of New Mexico State basketball this year. And while I was certainly aware who their best scorer was, it's Teddy Allen, I also know that they won a number of games where Teddy Allen didn't go nuts. And I didn't realize going in, and maybe this was just a one-game thing, but they were that completely reliant on Teddy to score. And you know, I went into the Arkansas game thinking, all right, I know enough about Eric Musselman. I've known Eric since he was in college. I know how he coaches. I watched him coach in the CBA, the NBA, obviously in college. I knew that their focus would be on Teddy Allen. And I thought that when he threw that number 4 at him all day long, it was Tony and Davis, I believe, that were on him all night. But it was more Tony. That somebody else was going to have to score. JJ, I watched the Aggies all year. They won games. Teddy Buckets didn't have to go for 20, let alone 30, for them to win games. Somebody else scored. And so your point is dead on. I thought that was going to be a Jabari Rice game. Obviously, Johnny came to play. But when you look at the score sheet after Johnny McCants, you had nobody else score more than 6 points for New Mexico State. And to me, that's where it was.
Yeah.
McNair was only 3 for 4. He only took 4 shots. Jabari had to be better. He was 2 for 10 at 5 points. And I'm not going to blame this on Teddy. I mean, look, the focus was on Teddy Allen. And I will tell you this, and we'll talk to Johnny a little bit about this at 9:30. There were sets where they would come down the floor, and it was almost like they weren't looking for Teddy. It was almost like, okay, he's being completely blanketed. And I would go back and look at this. The first segment of the second half, okay, before the first media timeout, I don't think he touched the ball. I don't think in an offensive set he touched the ball, let alone took a shot. And I was surprised at how 100% reliant they were on him in their offense. And that's the one piece that surprised me with them.
Yeah, and I think when you just look at the talent of the opponent involved, there are some games you can get away with it. In this instance, it was Teddy Allen or bust for New Mexico State, and I don't think they were going to be. I'm with you. I don't think New Mexico thought they would be that in deep offensively.
Mexico State
with Teddy Allen, where they couldn't get anything else, because there were opportunities. Like they missed a lot at the rim.
I agree.
Henry and Rice were getting looks, and they just weren't hitting anything.
Yeah. You know, I've told you this because I watch a lot of San Diego State basketball. I watch a lot of, I tell you, I think that they miss at the rim more than anybody in college basketball. Boy, college basketball players miss a lot at the rim. Watch it. Look, there have been some great games now. I watched some great games. I mean, the Arizona game last night was as good as anything you're going to see. That was a slugfest with TCU last night. The way that almost ended, and then it didn't end, and then it ended, that was insane. But, boy, they miss a lot at the rim. And look, there's a lot of contested stuff at the rim, but they miss. You watch the NBA game, and it's so rarely a guy gets to the rim and misses, right? You watch the college game, and New Mexico State was there. I want to get more in on Jans and what your thoughts are, and where do you go next for New Mexico State. Phone number to get in today is 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. 8 o'clock, Mario Mocha is due to be with us. 9:30, Johnny McCants is scheduled. Your emails come in, Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com, JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. You can watch the show. We're on the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Adrian's producing for ProView Networks. We're also on Comcast Channel 26. And who's the new guy back there? Like
guy?
The new part-time bro. Like, who the hell are you? Welcome back.
I missed you guys.
Welcome home. A. Marie's back, producing.
Thank goodness.
I mean, JJ and I have been through so many producers. We're like, all right, well, here's another one.
No, that's not what it was. It was a family matter.
We scared off another
Stuff
one.
happens. I'm never leaving you guys.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back. It's the opening drive. I want to hear from Aggie fan, Lobo fan. How do you feel about the tournament? Basketball fan. We'll get into the Deshaun Watson stuff as well. Browns fan. What? It's on the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Titus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style.
Lady Lobos are moving on in the WNIT. They're in the round of 16, 73-69. They beat the University of San Diego Toreros yesterday in the pit. So ladies continue. Aggie fan, looking forward to hearing from you today. 505-246-0610. I did have a text conversation with Chris Jans. I do believe at some point this week, Chris will be with us. And look, I mean, he's drinking out of a fire hose. He's just drowning over there. And I did, ask him if he had a few minutes this morning, and he says, look, I'm drowning, basically. Let's catch up later in the week. And I appreciate that. He did a media interview when he got off the plane, the El Paso TV crews, the media was there, and we'll try to get you some of that later. But I totally understand. I mean, I knew it was going to be a whirlwind. I got this text from Jeff. It says, a handful of us watched the Aggie game, most Aggie fans. All of us agreed that with so many job openings, Jans was gone, win or lose. We all felt Jans was so much better of a coach that a big conference and big money would come a-knocking. This should not surprise anyone. Well, and I agree with that. I mean, I'm going to tell you, JJ, the only surprise to me is that it took so long. That you got. I mean, I think you got to be thankful that you got 5 years out of this.
Yeah. Again, there was COVID in there, which changed a lot of the things. And for Chris Jans too, that was an opportunity to rehab his image. That's why he was at New Mexico State. And he did check all those boxes. And so I think 5 years, people saw it and saw the track record, saw how he worked on and off the court, and it was a no-brainer for one of those schools to come get him right now. One
thing, and every Aggie player we have on here, and I don't care if it was Trevlin Queen, Jabari Rice, Teddy Allen. I mean, go back the last 5 years. What's the constant theme? They love on Jans, right? They swear by Jans. The text line says, but Jeff, The last 3 Aggie coaches who have padded their records against all the D2 move-ups like Jans did went on to flop at their next stops. You're talking about Marvin Menzies and Paul Weir. Okay? And look, he may flop at Mississippi State and define flop. None of them won a game at the NCAA tournament. And you can say, well, it's just one game. Well, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's kind of a big deal, right?
It's a very big deal.
To win a game in the NCAA tournament. You can tell me, I love listening to Lobo fans tell me, oh, this would have been a 7th place team in the Mountain West this year. Really? How many of your Mountain West teams, 4 of them got to the second round? How many of them won a game? Well, Jeff, their matchups weren't good. Well, UConn was a good matchup? Would that have been better for you? UConn was a better matchup than Creighton? Come on now. You might be right to the texture. And define flop, and we'll define it as it goes on. Did Ben Howland flop? Ben Howland didn't win it. He went to how many Sweet 16s at UCLA? Went to Mississippi State, went to the tournament once in 8 years, and he's been ushered out. Ben Howland's a hell of a coach. Look, I'm telling you, Chris isn't moving into an easy situation now. It's a great opportunity. This isn't an easy job. He's going to a Mississippi State.
No.
He's going into a league that's got Kentucky and Auburn and Florida and Alabama. And look around. Like that basketball league
and
has
they
got
still have
real.
a better opportunity than UNLV and New Mexico do to make the NCAA tournament.
Well, sure, because they get 6-7 teams a year. Yes. Texas A&M, Texas and Oklahoma are going into that league. I mean, look, this is now. Again, I haven't seen the numbers. What would you guess he's going to make? Between 1.8 and 2.2?
Yes, he's making.
Did you already see
$1
numbers?
million plus.
Well, yeah. But yeah, so to the text line, you're right. You're right. Marvin and Paul didn't do well in their next stops. And if you think it's just padding their numbers, like they win a game every year that you go, wow. And one of them a couple of years ago was against Mississippi State, by the way, on the road. Do you remember when they won in Ed Jackson? He went down there and beat Mississippi State. It happened right around bowl time, and it kind of got disappeared. And they beat Miami. You know, they go and they almost beat Kansas. I mean, they go on the road, beat Washington State. Every year they've got one, sometimes 2 of those wins that you clamor for, right? And they're usually on the road. Sometimes at neutral sites, but usually on the road. I mean, I don't know. Look, you're right on the track record with Marvin and with Paul. Chris is a hell of a coach. Anybody who knows basketball, I've talked to some good friends of mine who have spent a long time in basketball. Everybody points at Jans as being a great coach. I'm on this chat with some listeners, and one of our listeners hit me on Saturday night and how they weren't prepared, and they were, stop it. You're wrong. You're just wrong. They didn't play a good first half. It was a rock fight of a first half. Brendan Hayward only called them Texas A&M once, I think. But I don't know how.
Wait, what do you say then to Arkansas hitting just 3 of their first 15 shots?
They weren't prepared. Eric Musselman's not a good coach.
Like, there's a combination of you can point out that the dudes were not able to step up when those shots became available, but then to say that they weren't prepared, they weren't making shots. Either was Arkansas, so were both coaches just terrible?
Yeah.
Or were it 2 good defenses with average offenses that made them look that much worse?
Insanely good defenses. Insanely.
Because the defenses of both these teams are better than the offenses. Like when you look at Arkansas, they got 2 high-level guys, and it's Williams and Note. And Note kind of just goes off very similar to Teddy Allen, and it can make things look better for Arkansas. So in this case, you had 2 good defenses that shut down what each team wanted to do, and the role players couldn't step up in the first half.
Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, we got a Final Four. We got a Sweet 16. We got an interest. Where the hell my bracket go? We got an interesting Sweet 16. You got a St. Peter's. What the hell is St. Peter's? How about St. Peter's? St. Peter's been to the the Sweet 16. The Lobos never have. I got that yesterday. When are we going to get our shot, Jeff? St. Peter's gets theirs. Yes, they do. Iowa State won 2 games last year. They hired T.J. Otzelberger, and now they're in the Sweet 16.
You just got to get in. That's all you got to do is find a way. As I look at Iowa State, you watch Iowa State,
yep.
You're like, ooh,
I know.
There's a lot of ew.
They're
Watch this
not
team.
very
And they're in the
well
Sweet
coached. They're
16.
in the Sweet 16.
None of it makes sense.
They're not very well coached, though. I mean, did you watch the game? They're not very good. Look, I loved Providence going in. I thought they were nice. They got through.
An 11-10 matchup in the Sweet 16.
You got an 11-10 matchup in the Sweet 16 between Iowa State and Miami. You got Michigan, who's an 11 in the Sweet 16. You've got St. Peter's, who you could not have placed on a map. Now, you'd have said, all right, they're in an East Coast Conference. You'd have pointed at a state back there, but you wouldn't have known they're in New Jersey. A 15 seed not only beat Kentucky, ran through Murray State. They are going to play Purdue. They're in the Sweet 16. UCLA, Carolina, the bluest of bloods. They will go at each other. Texas Tech had a fight like hell to get through yesterday. They're playing Duke, who feels like they're on a little magical run, don't they? Gonzaga had a battle. They'll play that Arkansas team. Did you watch Arizona last night? That game that they played against TCU last night may have been the best one of the tournament. Houston gets through Illinois. You've got all kinds of really, really good stuff that we got to get through.
Yes.
What's your favorite story? You got one? Is it St. Peter's? Is it Duke?
Well, St. Peter's is the third ever 15 seed to get to the Sweet 16. Duke is not a favorite story of mine. That's a expected story because you're still really talented, even in Coach K's final run. I thought Penny Hardaway did a fantastic job this tournament, having his Memphis team in position to upset Gonzaga, and the Zags needing Drew Timme to go some on, like, win
You
one
watched
for the
Drew Timme?
Skipper speech
Holy
at halftime. Because
smoke.
guess what, Drew? You were right. You've been punked a few times in this postseason tournament, and you went out there in the second half and proved everyone wrong.
I don't know what the best performance of the first two rounds was. Teddy Allen's was pretty good. Drew Timme's has got to be up there, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
If you watched Benedict Mathurin last night from Arizona, that's got to be up there too. That was terrific as well. All right, A-Marie will take your call, 505-246-0610, 888-9220. That's right, I said A-Marie. I didn't say Bobcat. I didn't say Stephanie. I said A-Marie is back. Back here and back with us today, and it's good to have her. So you can talk to her, 505-246-0610. All right, so now we're coming out of winter, going into spring. It's time. You do spring cleaning in the house. May want to do some spring cleaning on your vehicle. Detail your vehicle. Don't just wash it. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them come out and detail your vehicle. That means inside and outside, and under the hood and around the rims, and under the seats and under the dash and all those places that you can't get. Have them come out, and when they're done, your vehicle will look like the day you took it off the lot. Remember how fun it was to drive? Well, you can have that again without getting a new vehicle. Just call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. And I did say they come to you. That's the on the spot part. Wherever and whenever it is convenient for you, On the Spot comes out and takes care of this for you, and your vehicle will thank you. Actually, you'll thank yourself. It's wonderful. Have them come out. Look, you're busy. They're outside working while you're in the office or working in the house with the kids or whatever it is you're doing. They give you a text, you go outside, and everybody goes, ooh, and ah, and so do you. Call On the Spot. Make an appointment. Ceramic coating, by the way, is the best way to protect any paint for years to come. They've got that. They offer paint corrections for anything from scratches to asphalt removal. It'll get your car looking like new again. And they apply that ceramic coating, by the way, by hand. 10% military discount as well. Schedule your appointment online, www.otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com. Or call them at 505-859-2859. That's 505-859-2859. On the Spot Automotive Detailing. This
A company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
All right, so we are in round of Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in on it on the run, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Mario Mocha due to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. Johnny McCants due at 9:30. Lenny, good day to you. How you living?
How you doing? Well, I didn't watch basketball, but can we just switch over to the debacle of Deshaun Watson?
What if I said no?
Then we have to talk basketball. It's your show.
I've been told not to let the caller dictate, but you know what? We do need to get into Deshaun Watson. So
it's your show. I'll talk whatever you want. I won my bet with New Mexico State. That was the only underdog bet that I won all week.
Attaboy. All right, good win. All right, Deshaun gets $230 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
But here's the better deal that he did. If he gets suspended for the whole season,
he only loses
$1 million.
Exactly. It's insane what they did to bend over backwards for him because the Browns wanted an adult in the room. They didn't want Baker Mayfield. So the adult they wanted was Deshaun Watson.
And it's not a matter of that. The owner of the Browns, she is one of the biggest proponents for women's rights.
Look, man, this whole thing boggles my mind that he is now the highest paid player in the history of the league, that he set the market, and here comes Russell Wilson, and here comes, who else is up soon? There's all kinds of guys that are up
with
soon.
A fully 100% guaranteed
Nobody's got
contract.
That. Nobody's got that.
Because you cannot find signing bonuses. Well, any bonus, you can only find the base salary.
Nobody's got that, and it's amazing to me that of everybody who's got it, JJ, how can there not be a risk? There's 22 women who are lined up, separate women, who have filed claims against this man. Like of everybody that you're giving in the whole league, everybody you're giving guaranteed contracts to, it's this guy. And by the way,
here's the thing.
You should send Baker.
In the statements that are released, we've done our due diligence, this or that. Like, stop.
Yeah.
We're all smart enough.
Right.
We've been here, done that. We know that it's about winning. You don't care about anything else.
Obviously.
We get it. So don't try to sell us.
It's going to end up being an 8-game suspension at the most.
All right, so he loses what, $1 million? Like this first year, his salary is...
For half the season, loses $500,000,
right.
which is nothing.
That's right.
He gets 99% of his contract.
That's right. That's 100% right.
You know,
Yep.
And then, so you shake your head and go, I just don't know how you even sell that to the fans.
Well, you sell to the fans, and all of a sudden we're going to win. I mean, all they want to do is win. And the fans, by the way, Lenny, you know as well as I do. You know maybe better. If they win, look, they're the Cleveland Browns. I don't know that they're going to. If they win, you think anybody's going to care about those 22 civil lawsuits? Honestly,
No.
you think what? You think
Winning
Bruno and
everyone
Cleveland's going to
forget
care?
everything.
Yeah, nobody cares.
You know, and then the other head scratcher too a little bit was the Devontae Adams trade with the money he got from the Raiders. You know, just like a car charger
That's
San
fine.
Diego still.
At least you
the
didn't call
Raiders.
the Aggies Texas A&M, so you're fine.
So, and I don't know if they gave up too much or if it was an overpay, because that's still a lot of money at 29 years old.
Well, they got a guy in his prime. I mean, they needed a receiver. They needed a receiver they could rely on. Obviously, him and Derek's have something going, and they got. I mean, I don't know. Do you think he's the best receiver in the game? Is Hopkins the best? I mean, he's one of the top 3 receivers in the game.
Can we actually say now the AFC West is by far the best division in football?
I think we can now. I think the NFC West has slid a little bit with Russell Wilson leaving, with whatever's going on with Kyler, with the uncertainty of quarterback. I don't think there's uncertainty. You just don't know how good Trey Lance is going to be in San Francisco. Yes, I think the AFC West is the best division, yes.
And then last question is, do you think it was an overpay on Von Miller at $120 million?
100%. Yes. Yes.
I don't even know how that can even happen.
You don't think it's an overpay?
Well, just not
I
on what's
think it's a
guaranteed.
huge
Probably
overpay.
just a 3-year deal in reality.
How much is guaranteed? I don't.
$60 million, 50 or $60 million is guaranteed. So it's a 2 to 3 year deal. It's still a lot of
God
money
bless
for
him.
somebody who had to come back in the second half of the season, not really go into the last 2 or 3 games and then the playoffs.
Yeah. God bless him for getting it. I mean, good for him.
So didn't want to talk basketball. I know. I don't know enough NCAA to talk about it.
That's fine.
But I would like to see at least one Cinderella team make it to the Final Eight. And for anyone who's complaining that the Aggies only won one game in the NCAA tournament, that's one more than the Lobos won.
I don't hear anybody complaining, to be honest with you. Honestly, I thought I might, and I don't hear anybody complaining.
Or that the coach left to take more money and go to a better conference.
Don't hear
Everyone does that in every sport, in every
I
job.
don't hear a lot of people complain about that either. Most of them are saying, attaboy, congratulations, thanks for what you did for us, good luck.
You know, and even if he, doesn't do good like the other two coaches didn't, he still gave it a shot for a chance that we never did.
Fair enough. Good call, Lenny. Thanks. Reggie Theus, by the way, the text line reminded me. Don't forget Reggie Theus. Okay, 3 guys. Yep, 3 guys who went. I know Reggie went to the NBA. Tell me who won with the Sacramento Kings again besides Rick Adelman? Give me one guy. Give me another coach who's won at Sacramento. Thank you.
It's only Rick, and since then they've had a losing season every year
yeah.
since they let him go.
So.
If you don't think Chris Jans is a better coach
that's fine.
Than Marvin Menzies and Paul Weir, it's just because you don't like the Aggies.
Yeah, that's okay.
So, I get it.
Yeah, it's okay. It really is okay. I think there's a bit of jealousy in there. You got Paul Weir, and it went the way it went. They got Chris Jans, and they've been to the NCAA tournament, 4 out of the last 6 years?
Because of the league, Jeff.
Oh, that's right. And they won because of the league? Why were they able to win? Beat UConn out of the Big East. Why were they able to do that? Why were they able to go on the road and beat Washington State? I'm just like, you can hate them all you want. That's fine. First of all, I find Jan's a hard guy to hate. Do you think? Are there the Lobo fans hate Jans?
This is one where it's a rival, man. I don't expect most fans to like anyone from New Mexico State.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, you can't be sitting if this stuff does matter, which it does.
Yep.
Like, you don't like Michigan's probably like, you know what, that Ryan Day.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's a rivalry.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You don't like your rivals. Sometimes you respect them, though, don't you? Let me just tell you, what they're doing down there, stay in relevant basketball, and if you think it's all because of their league, you're wrong. They split with you this year. They beat Washington State on the road. They beat Davidson. Yeah, they lost to Chicago State. They did. You lost to San Jose State. Right? Man, league games happen. They have stayed relevant through this whole whack, crazy thing, playing schools that you don't find are up to par with you. You better give me his credit. 505-246-0610. Tony, good morning. What's happening?
Morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
What's up?
I'm going to ask you one question, and one question only.
Yeah.
I have not really kept up with the tournament.
Yeah.
But if I asked you to describe the tournament in one sentence to me, what would it be?
To me, it's been fun. It's exciting. It's been exhilarating basketball. Some surprises, some chalk, but a lot of good games.
Wow, why wasn't I surprised that Jess Zambietta went above and beyond and gave me at least 2.5 sentences?
I know you're surprised by that.
Yeah, I haven't really kept up with it, but I've seen a little bit of highlights. I saw a couple of little game winners here and there, but have there been any major upsets?
Yeah, you got a 15 at St. Peter's is a 15.
That's right.
Yeah,
they beat Kentucky.
They beat Kentucky and they beat Murray State. How would you, JJ? How would you describe it?
This is what March Madness is all about.
100%. It's been
okay, well, question asked and question answered. Beautiful. You guys have a good day, okay? Make the best of this week.
That's what we're here for. See you, Tony. All right, 505-246-0610.
Sports Center for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. He didn't have time. He called us, and we brought him up to date. Now he can go make the best of his week. That's what we're here for. It's been mad. It has been mad, hasn't it? There have been some great games. The Murray State-San Francisco game, that late night Thursday night game was Thursday night, fantastic. And the last game last night was insane.
Name it.
Did you stay up for Arizona?
North Carolina Baylor.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Where, let's throw Brady Manick out of the game.
For what?
And then Caleb Love fouls out. North Carolina's like, Baylor comes back from 25. And they still win the game as North
All
Carolina.
right, I left the house. They were up 25. I was listening to it. Addie had a lacrosse game. And I put the game, I watched on my phone sitting there, and I'm like watching this comeback. And it goes to overtime, and you're sure Baylor's going to win, and then Carolina wins. That game was silly.
Are we, are we sure that Jim Larinaga and Jim Boeheim are two different people?
You want to throw Larry David in there, too? Somebody gave me a Larry David vibe, too. And by the way, he's put the Enye on it, so I think it is Jim Larinaga.
Larinaga?
Like Larinaga.
Okay.
But everybody says Larinaga because it's easy, but he has gone back to his roots and asked Miami to put the Enye, the tilde, I believe is what it is, above the N. So I believe it to be now Jim Larinaga.
Larinaga.
But Jim Larinaga. However, whatever it is, man can coach now. Where'd Miami come from?
Yeah, Auburn.
Well, I mean, he put it to
Jackson
Auburn.
State on the upset, but it was Miami.
It was Miami. I'll tell you what.
Wrong 15. We were all on.
St. Peter's was the 15. All right, we got two lines open, 246-0610. Been watching these games, sitting there with no glasses on, no contacts. I haven't been doing that for years. 2003 is when Dr. Stephen Coleman did my LASIK. Glad he did. All these years later, I'm glad he did. If you're considering LASIK, getting rid of contacts, glasses, lenses, call the best. And this is a no-brainer. Call the best. The technology that Dr. Stephen Coleman uses is cutting edge. He's played a significant role in developing it, testing it. The current technology he uses not only is utilized here in New Mexico, but around the world, and it's technology that originated at Sandia Labs here in New Mexico. This is why patients come from all over the country to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision, because Dr. Coleman is the best. It is an inviting, warm, comfortable atmosphere. And Dr. Coleman will tell you straight up, look, this will work for you and this is why, or it's not right for you. He's told people, and people I know, that, look, you're not a candidate, and this is why you're not a candidate. Here's other options for you. They've become good friends of mine, the Colemans have, because they're great people. And what they've done in this community has been terrific. But bottom line is, this is the best, the top of the field when it comes to getting LASIK surgery done. Go look at some of the testimonials at ColemanVision.com. You'll see some of the people who've had it done. I'm one of them. And I couldn't have been happier. Call Coleman Vision. See what they can do for you. ColemanVision.com is the website. It's ColemanVision.com, and you go online there or call them at 505-821-8880, 505-821-8880.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's
This is Boomer Science with the CBS Sports Minute. So what could possibly go wrong with the Cleveland Browns signing Deshaun Watson? The Browns traded away their next 3 number-1 picks and guaranteed virtually all of Watson's record $230 million 5-year deal. For what?
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a
I got 2 lines open and not a lot of time. Mario Mocha at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock this morning. Rudy, go. You're on the opening drive. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Well, you know, there's one New Mexico team left in the Sweet 16, and it's the women.
Yes, it is.
And that was a heck of a game. I don't know how you give up a 17-point lead and still win, but the 3-point shot by Latasha was just unbelievable. That thing seemed to be in the air for 15 minutes. So now they move on. You know, if it wasn't for the Ty Murray, I think they'd have a real shot at hosting, but now it's off to Oregon State. So congratulations to them. Isn't it funny that 3 scorers score 16 points, and Jaden Delacerda is 2 points away, and she missed 2 free throws, or she would have had 16. So it seemed almost prophetic that they were going to make the Sweet 16 of the WNIT. Congratulations to the Aggies. You know, getting to the Sweet 16 is so tough. I mean, I feel their pain. I remember the 64-63 loss to, I think it was Louisville. And Syracuse. You know, when the Lobos made that run of 4 straight NCAA appearances and 4 first-round victories. It's very hard to get to the Sweet 16. And who would have ever thought that as much criticism as Michigan received for getting an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, that they would actually turn it around, and now they're in the Sweet 16 for the 5th year in a row. That's pretty amazing when you think about it, Jeff.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's.
I mean, how much crap did they catch for getting that at-large bid?
Not that
17
much.
and 14, you don't deserve it. You know, you didn't. Your coach got suspended. A lot of people. I mean, the national news was that. But I thought one of the best moments of the tournament was after they ousted Tennessee, what Juwan Howard did for that young
was
man.
Wonderful. You had a Tennessee player crying, and Juwan Howard, the Michigan coach, was there to console him, and I thought that was pretty big. All right, Rudy, I want to get one more in before the top, but appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the week. Later. Robert, good morning to you. How are you?
Not too bad. Hey, last night Tommy Lloyd did the same thing with one of the TCU players.
Saw that. I thought that was really cool too. Yeah.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing. Hey, can the Mountain West be relegated down to Double A, possible? Because they really cannot play in the tournament. They need to step
they
it
didn't
up.
do well.
They really did.
They didn't. They got 4 teams in. We talked about this was a big march for the Mountain West, and they didn't take advantage of it.
They need to step it up. They need to do something because it's really getting embarrassing.
It's they had a great season, and they beat some teams, and they had a really good season. They didn't have a good March. Yeah. I mean, there's no way to put sugar on it. Yeah.
Nope.
All right, man.
Take care.
See ya. I mean, when it's all said and done, we sit down and evaluate. And I guess it's been talked about enough. It does put a damper on what was a great season. And you can sit and say it was a great season all you want, and you're right, and there was progress, and there are good teams. But at some point, right, we got to be sitting here on this day and have a Mountain West team still alive. We do.
Yeah, and especially with the way some of those games were lost. San Diego State doing something they never do, blow a late lead.
Should have won.
In a game, Colorado State, it's a game of runs. So a double-digit lead in the first half does not mean you're automatically going to double that, but just how quickly that got away from them in the second half against Michigan. It's just all about the matchups. Opportunities were there. You got to start taking advantage of it because the national narrative, the perception is, well, you don't win in March, you're going to get less and less of those opportunities.
Mario Mocha's next, New Mexico State's athletic director. He's the guy now tasked with finding a replacement for Chris Jans. He just hired a football coach. He was with us on Friday, wasn't he? Another Mario Mocha segment next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Bach.
Well, terrific run in the NCAA tournament by the New Mexico State Aggies ended on Saturday when Arkansas beat them 53-48 in Buffalo. A wonderful run that had them go through Connecticut, have a lead in the second half against Arkansas, and then succumb in the round of 32. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. Then we all woke up on Saturday to the news, and no surprise, that Chris Jans is going to be the head coach of Mississippi State after 5 successful years with the Aggies. And I tell you, the only surprise is that it took so long. And I've told you over the last couple of weeks, I had a feeling this was maybe going to be the year. You had a terrific coach that people had taken notice of, and there's a lot of money out there and a lot of opportunity. And Chris is proven to be a hell of a coach, proven to be pretty good people. And I think for the most part, I'm proud of Aggie fan, JJ, the way they've responded to this by saying, hey, good luck, coach. Thank you for everything you've done here. Best to you, because we're in a better place now. The guy who's tasked now with finding the replacement is the guy who hired Chris Jans 5 years ago, the athletic director at New Mexico State, who I believe was just on our show on Friday. And now he's a regular, Mario Mocha. Good morning to you. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Probably got a little less on our plate than you do. So what's the emotion? I mean, are you did you get to enjoy the high of the NCAA run? I'm going to guess you knew this was happening while it was happening because they've got to call and ask permission to talk to Chris. I mean, where are you in your head right now?
Well, it's interesting, Jeff. That's kind of a little bit of a bygone era, having to call, to seek permission to talk to your coach. That happens sometimes, but not as frequently as, maybe it used to 5 or 10 years ago. But it was interesting because I would say I didn't soak in the WAC championship and the win over UConn because I kind of knew this was happening. So your gears are always grinding, for the next thing that's going to happen. And, obviously the inevitable did. So, yeah, I was glad I was there. I enjoyed the heck out of it, but maybe not as much as if I knew the coach was definitely going to be there, because I kind of figured, this was our swan song with Chris Jans.
Yeah, when did you know it was happening? What was the progression for you? Like you kind of you knew he was talking to them, and then you knew how did it all go for you?
Yeah, Chris and I have a great relationship, and he kept me informed. Probably more than any head coach keeps an AD. Very atypical, but I knew everything that was going on. So I knew that with the level, it was funny. We fended off one suitor a few years ago. We fended off another, the year after.
Right.
So now with the Power 5 Sharks kind of circling, I just kind of felt it was inevitable once we, really when we were transitioning to Las Vegas and then obviously, after the UConn thing, I was pretty much, hey, that was a great win for the program, but it probably sealed the loss of our great head coach as well.
Mario Mocha is the athletic director at New Mexico State. Did you get to enjoy? Let me tell you this. I'm surprised it took this long, and I think you feel the same way. I think Aggie fan has been really, really on the right path with this. I think the response has been, thank you, Coach. Thanks for everything you did, and good luck to you. You left our program in a better place. I think if there's a surprise, is that it took this long.
Well, I think you're spot on. I mean, look, I know that there's a lot of ADs that are risk averse, and maybe in some of those bigger Power 5 conferences or media locations, the spotlight's a little brighter. However, in Chris Jans' tenure here, he's done nothing but, win ball games, win championships, 7 Power 5 wins in 5 years, where we hadn't really had one. I know Paul had one against Arizona State in his tenure, but previously it was like 25-year drought, and even our Power 5 losses to Auburn and Kansas, I think, totaled 4 points. So that and, his record in the rivalry games, which, no matter one team is good or bad or up or down, they're still rivalry games, was stellar. So, yeah, I was stunned that it took this long. And quite frankly, some of the hires that other Power 5s made, I was kind of scratching my head thinking, man, Chris Jans is way better than that guy. But, it was to our benefit. And, now somebody, in my opinion, came to their senses and hired a really, really top-notch head coach.
Mario Mocha, New Mexico State Athletic Director, joining us. And Mario kind of laid it out there, but what was different about the Chris Jans era for New Mexico State?
Well, he was more of a proven commodity. I think people, they maybe, I don't want to say scoff, but they don't really take a junior college career with much salt. But he was a JC coach for 8 years and had an 80% winning percentage. Those are tough jobs where you have, maybe academic casualties, some social casualties, et cetera. And you've got to meld those guys right away while you're recruiting. And he was excellent there. Obviously, the run at Wichita State was unprecedented. And then, Coach Chris Jans won the National Coach of the Year for first-year coaches, the Joe B. Hall Award at Bowling Green. So, and I knew him from a couple of stops at the Missouri Valley Conference. So, while I know at the time it wasn't an overly popular hire, I kind of felt that Chris was the guy to get it done. I do not have a crystal ball in Las Cruces, but I didn't think it was taking as big of a risk or a leap of faith as maybe some others did.
Mario, too, with the extended track record that New Mexico State has had, but this recent run now with Conference USA on deck, how big is it to just show everyone else that you knew you could win there, but now getting that NCAA tournament victory, how does that just help this program and everything moving forward with what's ahead?
Well, I think it helps, from the fan base, the alumni base. I never, look, did anything change from when we lost by 1 point to Auburn to when we beat UConn by, whatever we beat them by? Not really. I mean, not if you divorce yourself from the actual playing of the games, the personnel, the hanging with the Power 5 teams. But I think it was great to, put on a resume that the fans can remember for a long time. So I'm not minimizing winning a tournament game, but it's not like I was like, boy, we've arrived now. And after the Auburn loss, I was thinking, boy, we're just not there yet. So I think we were always there. But those tournament games are tough. Sometimes you shoot well, sometimes you don't. Injuries, anything can happen in a one-game scenario. But one thing about Chris that you could always say, I think, at the end of the year, he always managed to have the symphony playing at its peak perfection. We always were, had rotations down or had the harmony going, and it was great knowing that, hey, boy, we got a heck of a chance because it's the end of the year and the guys are all, singing from the same hymnal.
Well, and one thing, every Aggie player we've ever had on this show loves Chris Jans. I mean, it's been, and they all go out of their way to sing his praises. But now he's going to Mississippi State. He'll be introduced in Starkville today. So what's next for you? How does this process go? Is there a timeline on it? I'm not asking who it is. I may ask you about a couple individuals, but how does the process go? And I got to believe this is a relatively attractive job because there's been a lot of success in Las Cruces.
Sure, yeah, no, it definitely is. And on the women's side, I mean, I've obviously been inundated over the last week.
Yeah.
I would say this, if you're the New Mexico State athletic director and you don't have a short list, then you're not doing your job. So I've obviously been keeping my eye on a few people and, and ironically, I've even talked to people prior to our season being over, just in anticipation of this, just as if hey, if this happens, would you X, Y, and Z? So, obviously being prepared. Certainly, yeah, it makes it much more attractive when you have the kind of success we do. But I'm always a big believer in fit. I despise the words winning the press conference. I just hate that. And maybe that's from a smaller school AD who, in my past has, seen other guys, they wanted to win the press conference. Well, the press conference lasts about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's time to, recruit and win games. So I just don't care about that as much. So I'm really looking for the right fit. What kind of school are we? What kind of student athletes have we historically won with? What are their backgrounds? So I'm looking for fit over, a big name or, a splash or, oh my God, they hired X, Y, and Z. I think sometimes it works out like that, maybe with a Jerry Kill, but I never, go into a search trying to win a press conference or, win the fans' approval. I think if the coach does what, I hope he does, then, the approval will come.
And then win the next bunch of press conferences. There'll be a lot of press conferences to win, right? I mean, at that point.
Yeah, and we've been fortunate. When Marvin, in my tenure, obviously, before me, Reggie Theus went to the NBA, and, Marvin was hired. But, we did a national search, and, we hired Paul Weir, and, Paul won 28 games and was 3-1 in the rivalry games and beat Arizona State, and, he left. And then we hired Chris Jans. So, look, as I said, there is no crystal ball. You just try to really, get the best fit for the program at the time and, also hope it works out while you're supporting the coach.
Mario, you've promoted from within before and you've gone outside. James Miller is I think fourth year as an assistant. Chris loves him, said it was, he told the local media down there yesterday, he says this is a no-brainer. He's there. I know you've got a relationship with Frank Martin. I mean, those are two names that are out there. I don't know if you want to talk about either one of those specifically, but certainly two names that would be attractive to Aggie fans.
Yeah, well, I won't talk specific names, but I will say this. I've always been a believer, hey, if things are going the right way, I will definitely make sure that the associate head coach is an automatic finalist, in the candidate pool, So, James Miller, our associate head coach, will definitely be somebody that we will interview on our, once we finalize our group, because he's earned that. However, I have to do due diligence to the institution. I have to put my head on the pillow at the end of the day thinking, hey, this is the right person to take us forward. So, I won't automatically hand a job to anybody. And I certainly respect what Chris says. We've had, very frank discussions privately on just the state of the program and things like that. But, look, when players say, hey, I got to have this guy, I just don't want to, I'm not trying to make a decision for next year. I'm trying to make a decision for the next 5 years. So, making people happy is always nice, but it's not necessarily my goal as far as, a men's or a women's basketball search.
Mario, to get to that point, who do you just bounce things off of? How do you make sure that you keep that open mindset, that you're not yourself leaning one way or the other? And just that process of kind of getting to that point as an AD over time to have that experience to be able to look at everything.
Yeah, that's a great question, JJ. And, there are certainly some people in the industry that I lean on, members of the search committee, the NCAA selection committee that I've been friends with, whether that's like Bruce Rasmussen, the former AD at Creighton, Jamie Pollard, the AD at Iowa State. There's guys in the industry that you're friends with, and you can say, hey, what's this guy really like, et cetera, or what's this woman really like? But you're right. It is really an interesting time and a very kind of internally tumultuous, because you don't want to fall in love with candidates. You're always looking for their flaws. You don't want to fall out of love with a guy and just see their flaws. You try to really soak it in with as much information as you can get, and then make the right decision. And I'll just tell you real quick, I've always said this. One of the best things I've ever seen as far as searches is concerned is I was at Southwest Texas State when DeLoss Dodds had hired John Makovic to be the head coach at Texas. And, the things weren't going well, and they were flying banners over the stadium, dump DeLoss and fire Makovic. And they do fire him, and then they hire Mac Brown, and he wins a national championship. And they asked DeLoss, I was reading an article in a magazine, and they said, well, what'd you do different this time around? And he said, well, we didn't do anything different. Mac Brown wasn't available the last time we did a search. So a lot of it, also is timing. Who is available at the time that you have an opening? So these things, you try to do as much homework as you can. I think you try to eliminate as many variables as possible. And then, there is a little good fortune, luck involved. But I think by eliminating variables, you give yourself the best chance to hire a coach that can be successful.
You might be the only AD in the country looking for a women's and a men's coach right now. I don't know if that's fact, but you might be. And I know you got a lot of work to do. Get to work. Always appreciate the time. Hey, and congratulations on the run. It was fun. The state was buzzing for a while. Hoops fans, even Lobo fan called in and said congratulations to the Aggies today, which was kind of cool. Go out and get it done. I know you will, and we'll catch up with you very soon. Appreciate the time.
Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for the support.
No, best of luck. Thanks, Mario. We'll talk to you soon. Mario Mocha is the athletic director at New Mexico State. All right, so there you go. That's how it's going to go. He's looking for a women's and a men's coach.
Yep.
Man, he's got work to do. I texted him. We were talking the other morning. That might have been Friday, and he was going, in the women's search mode right there. Now he's got them both to do. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hiring heating up?
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
In and respond to that. Aggie fan, how do you feel about the search? I got to believe that you've got pretty good faith in Mario in regards to searches, right? He got you Chris Jans last time. Last time Mario did a search for a football coach, he got you Jerry Kill, which I do believe is as good as you could have gotten down there. And so how do you feel about the search now as he opens it up? James Miller, do you like James Miller? He's the assistant. Do you know much about him? He's been there 4 years. He's well thought of. He's familiar with the land of enchantment. I mean, he was the head coach at New Mexico Junior College from 2012 to 2015. He was 3 seasons before that as an assistant. He was as a head coach with NMJC. He was 77-23 and went to 3 straight postseasons. He had 21 players move on to play Division I programs. Places like Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, TCU, North Carolina State. And in his final year at New Mexico Junior College, they were 23-9, went to the semifinals of the NJCAA Region 5 tournament. Is that a guy? I mean, Mario just said, he puts a lot of credit into junior college. So I don't know. Do you like that? There's going to be a lot of names. I always hear, nobody's going to want to go there. No, you're wrong. I don't care what it is. People want opportunities. So there's 2 very distinct routes here, and maybe the truth lies somewhere in the middle. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Johnny McCants due to be with us coming up at 9:30. JJ, there's like I'm going to bookend this for you, and then the answer may be somewhere in the middle. James Miller, you're #1 assistant, never been a head coach at Division I, but been a JC head coach. He's been there 4 years, knows the program. Chris Jans said yesterday it would be seamless. He could just take it and continue it. And then there's Frank Martin, who just was fired at South Carolina, who's been successful at Kansas State and at South Carolina, and who's a veteran, who shaved his head and was on TV over the weekend on TNT and TBS, and is a very fiery, well-known coach. Those are your two. You got two incredible extremes right there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe the answer lies somewhere in the middle.
You can get two good names off the top and see how the situation goes. And Aggie fans do trust in Mario Moccia and the decisions that he's been able to make and what we've seen over the last few years and how he's handled everything down there at that athletic department. And I think it does change things a little bit. Going into Conference USA, there's a bit of a different perception about that league than, say, the Western Athletic Conference. So I do think they're in a really good position right now.
The text line, the same person who's telling me that the last 3 Aggie coaches have failed when they moved on, Weir and Menzies and Theus, said that Jan stayed relevant by being in a league with nothing but Division II move-ups. The proof will be what Jans does in the SEC. You know, there's I don't know if I totally buy into that. Dan Marley was in that same league. It didn't work for him. Which Drew is at Grand Canyon? He's not doing that well with all the resources, right? Well, all the resources he has there, and with the pedigree that he has. Has Jans out-coached him every time? The Grand Canyon? Feels that way, and I think.
Well, I would say when you look at these mid-major schools, what is different about Chris Jan's path than, say, some of these other mid-major guys that made a jump and been
like
successful? If you want to sit there,
like Chris Beard,
then no one can make a jump.
Yeah.
Like if you're just going to sit there and hound on the whack and not look at the overall picture because you think it's just set in stone, they only played these teams, then no coach is ever going to get the opportunity to go from a quote-unquote mid-major league to a power conference.
Well, so if you
someone's hiring St. Peter's coach,
maybe they will.
Like and then
Shaheen Morris.
So it's, I don't know what the axe there is to grind. Like there's some crazy conversation thinking Chris Jans can be successful at Mississippi State.
So let's take it a step further. Then how did he do outside of the WAC? How did he do against the Lobos and the Miners? Pretty well, wouldn't you say? Very well, in fact. How did he do against the Power, Mario calls them Power 5, but really in basketball Power 6? How did he do against, they beat UConn. They didn't beat Auburn in the NCAAs. They lost by a point the year Auburn went to the Final Four, but they sure as hell belonged on the floor. They beat Mississippi State on the road. They beat Miami. They beat Washington State on the road. They beat, I mean, like if you go and look, what did he say, 7 Power 5 victories in the last 5 years? I mean, up here, you kind of would love that, wouldn't you? It's inexact. Ben Howland is a great coach. All right, a really good coach. I don't know, maybe great, maybe too much. Ben Howland is a really good coach, would you say?
Good coach.
He was successful at Pittsburgh. He took UCLA to multiple Final Fours. Didn't work for him at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's a tough job. There's money, there's resources, but you're in the same league now as Kentucky, who is a perennial, Texas A&M, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn. I mean, name it. They're coming. It's a different world now. Yeah, it's a different world, and it's going to take a minute. And so they may get beat up next year, and you're going to go, ha, 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 look at him. Well, he's taking over a program that there's a reason they fired their coach. But I would tell you, everybody respects what he's done, and we'll see. Mud says, I think I jinxed the Aggies by picking them to be a Sweet 16. To Aggie fans, it happens everywhere. You'll get a good coach. This one says, Luke Walton to New Mexico State. How do you feel about Luke Walton?
I don't even know if he's on the list.
I mean, I don't know what the list
Why
looks
not?
like. I mean,
throw him on there.
Yeah, throw anybody on the list. Throw whoever you want. Throw names on there. Have you seen any other names anywhere on the New Mexico State job? James Miller and Frank Martin are the names that I've seen. Now, I know, look, Mario, like he said, he saw this coming before Vegas.
Ryan Miller interviewed last time.
You know what? And that would not be a bad. Ryan Miller was a long-time New Mexico assistant, TCU. Is he at TCU now? But he was at UNLV. He'd be interesting. honestly, Ryan Miller would be an interesting name. We'll see. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. I'll get you a few more names, too, because there's a rumor mill out there. We're going to talk to Johnny McCants coming up at 9:30. At least that's the plan for now. A. Marie's back. Welcome back.
I'm back.
We got a big morning. I know we got a lot going on this morning, but welcome home. Gladiators opened the season over the weekend. They lost 50-28 to the Rattlers. United was on the road this weekend. They beat El Paso 2-1 down in Texas. So we got a lot to do, and we'll get back to the phones when we get back. Again, 505-246-0610. Aaron Jones owns International Protective Service, IPS. It's a security company that watches my home. I suggest you give them a call and watch yours as well. In 2006, IPS started providing security for some homeowners in Fort Hills. 16 years later, homeowners, business owners all over Albuquerque trust IPS to protect what they've worked so hard to build. Aaron's from Albuquerque. He's passionate about making Albuquerque a safer place to live and work by watching your home or business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols. Committed to the city, committed to your protection. Call International Protective Service, 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or visit ipsglobal.com.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours. With faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons.
9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
I'm well aware these might not be apples to apples numbers, but at some point numbers are hard to ignore. Chris Jans at New Mexico State in 5 years went 122 and 32. 122 wins and 32 losses. If you throw in his 1 year at Bowling Green, where he was 21-15, he's got a 765 win percentage. Do you realize that makes him fourth nationally among active head coaches in win percentage?
Pretty good.
Who's better than him, Jeff? Well, Mark Few at Gonzaga, Bill Self, and Mike Krzyzewski. So Krzyzewski's retiring. That's going to make him number 3 on the active list. Well, Jeff, he's been beaten up on Chicago State and UT whatever. And yeah, you're right. And hence, it's not apples to apples. He beats who's in front of him. Now he's going to have an opportunity. Now, his winning percentage will come down because he's not going to be at Duke, and he's not going to be at Kansas, and he's not going to be at Gonzaga. Those guys built those programs. Well, actually, Bill Self didn't build Kansas. But Krzyzewski built Duke, and Few built Gonzaga. But that's just kind of where it is. So to tell me that he's just padding his record, look, a lot of coaches coach in the WAC. One of them is dominated, right? Are they all just bad coaches? Are they all just not good enough? I get it. I understand where your skepticism comes from, but the man can coach. One guy's dominated the WAC over the last 5 years. It's been that guy. So, and other schools have thrown resources at it. It's just where it is. 505-246-0610. Damn, only one line's open. Let's go. Sean, good morning to you. Hello, Sean.
Hey, good morning. It's interesting. I had a lot of people reaching out, and they're like, oh, man, you guys took the double loss there. You lost to Arkansas. You lost your coach, but I'm over here, and I'm still pretty hype about that win against UConn. And just having a chance to make it to the Sweet 16 that next round was huge. There's a lot of talk about the WAC and how bad it is, and it definitely went down for a few years. But if you look at the net rankings,
that's right.
It's right in the middle right now. So it's not terrible, like it used to be. But it is what it is. I'm just proud of this team. Happy for Coach Jans. There's no ill will there. I love NMSU, but if any school outside of 2 came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want a 500% raise?" Yeah, I'm packing my car.
I'm letting them pack it for me.
It's a winning program. I think there's 3 names that it's going to come down to one of those, and we'll see where they go.
All right. No, I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you. Jerome, how you feeling? Good morning.
Man, I'm fine. I'm feeling just fine. You know what? It kind of cracks me up is like Lobo fans trying to throw shade on all the stuff that we just accomplished. We accomplished so much more with less budget. I wish they'd equal our budget. Maybe we don't lose Chris Jans if we can pay our coach $1 million or something that they wasted on Craig Neal or Steve Alford. But it just kind of cracks me up that they just want to throw shade on what we just accomplished. We won a first-round game. We nearly almost beat Arkansas, and if we hadn't had a lousy first half, we would have beat Arkansas. So it's just, it's like right there. It was right there for us for the taking. And you know what? I think if it hadn't been for COVID, I personally think the year that they canceled the NCAA tournament, I thought that was our best Jans team ever with what we had coming back with Trevlin Queen and Corocherea and all those guys. I thought that was going to be good, and we might have lost it then, but blessed to have him for another year. And who can turn down $1 million, on a contract? We just keep picking better coaches. So once Jan leaves now, hopefully, we follow suit with getting another really, really good coach. And we can get the players to Las Cruces. They like coming to Las Cruces. We just hold on to the ones that we have. And I think our future is going to be bright. And then we go to Conference USA and more money, more exposure, some better teams, maybe. But you have to wait and see. But, bummer that we lose Chris Jans, and I applaud him, and I thank him for the years of service at New Mexico State University. He's a good guy. He's a great coach. And, I've gotten to talk to him a couple of times. And Jeff, you know him pretty well. So he's just a good guy. So good things happen to good people, and good things happen to good Aggie programs, and we're just going to get better and stronger from there.
Good answer, Jerome.
It was a good weekend, guys.
No, it's good. Thanks. Hey, let me throw a name at you. Who did Chris Jans work for at Wichita State? Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall.
Greg Marshall's been out. He had the allegations at Wichita State. Is this a landing spot for Greg Marshall to get back in?
Well, it's
He's a hell of a coach.
Similar to Chris Jans, second chance and opportunity. Rebuild your image, your character.
There's some groundswell of support down there for the Las Cruces high school coach, William Benjamin, who's a former Aggie, who's been a very successful high school coach. Greg Marshall's interesting, huh?
Very.
Edward, good morning.
Well, good morning. Happy spring to all of you.
Happy spring.
I'm in a high traffic area. I'm sorry for the background noise. Hey, congratulations to the Lady Lobo program, or I don't know the vernacular they use to describe them now, but the women's program, nice job. Great call by JJ. Nationally, I think this whole Lobo versus Aggie rhetoric, I think nationally they think these programs are probably the exact same. And for the most part, I think they think the conferences from a basketball perspective are essentially the same, in general. There are some outliers, but I would say it's pretty dead even. I like the data you presented on Jans. I'm a data guy, and I think New Mexico State's going to land a great coach. You could say retread or revive an image opportunity, but I think if they get Frank Martin or the gentleman from Wichita State, they're going to crush. I'm very proud of what New Mexico State did. I thought they lost an opportunity to get to the Sweet 16. And defense, and I sent you guys a text, defense plays a huge part, and it was a rough fight. What I struggled with, guys, was in the last 5 minutes, just the unforced errors, falling down, not maintaining your balance, not getting a shot off, throwing it to the wrong guy. Those were completely unforced errors. And I just don't understand, but I know that defense plays a big part of that. But we saw it repeatedly. And you're right, Jeff, in your opening segment, there's a lot of misses at the basket and layups.
Yeah.
We were watching the Texas Tech game, and my buddy roots for Tech as he went there. They must have missed 8 layups in the last 3 minutes, like point-blank layups. And I was like, Jesus. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. The Duke Invitational, they're going to get every call from here on out. I think they gave them a 2 seed. I don't think they were deserving of a 2 seed. And the sooner they get knocked out, the better for Edward. And Coach K is amazing, right? Amazing career. But I think good riddance once he gets knocked out, and I hope it comes earlier than later. But the tournament's been vastly entertaining.
Yes, it
and
is.
I think we're up for a great second weekend. And I appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you. See you. No, the tournament's been terrific. It's why we love it. It really is. Mike, I'm going to ask you to hold through the break. I got to hit this one, and then we'll come back. We got a couple lines open at 505-246-0610. Scheduled to have a conversation with Johnny McCants from New Mexico State at the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. That make it 9:30. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, A. Marie, Adrian on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
All right, let's go. 505-246-0610. Mario Mocha was with us today. We're talking about the Aggies, the NCAA run, who's going to be the new coach, Chris Jans. If you want to get in on United's victory, you can. We're open for NFL talk as well. Mike, thanks for holding. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for taking my call. Just a couple of thoughts. One is, all this week, congratulations to the Aggies and all their success. I think a couple of things the other night. They'd have just shot a little bit better, they probably would have won. And I guess congratulations to Chris Jans too, going on to a new opportunity for him. But I'm an alumnus of UNM and a diehard UNM fan. But that doesn't make me an Aggie hater. But it seems like that's the other way around with Aggie fan. Aggie fan is a Lobo hater, and they always cry every time. It doesn't matter. They make it about UNM, whether it's Aggies have success or they have or they don't have success. They blame it on UNM. UNM gets more money. UNM has more resources. Well, but that isn't the truth, Jeff. The truth is that both athletic departments are funded equally by the legislature. The difference, believe it or not, is Aggie fan. Aggie fan doesn't support their team and get them that extra revenue, doesn't sell out stadiums, doesn't sell out their football games. When was the last time they had a sellout at the Pan Am like they used to?
Yeah.
Doesn't buy gear. All of that adds up. And for every, and I hear this all the time. But when you walk through Albuquerque, when you walk, public places in Albuquerque, and there's a lot of Aggie alumni there, do you see Aggie gear worn?
I do.
That tells you.
Yeah, Mike.
I don't. I don't.
So work with me on the legislative money, because I don't know the answer to this. So you're telling me they are funded equally? Because I hear all the time from people down there that they are not funded equally. Is that? I mean, I know they get there's different funds now. There's capital outlay money, and there's operational money. I know there's different monies that go to it. But is that fact that they're funded equally by the legislature?
Well, my father served in the legislature for a dozen years.
Yeah.
And he told me then he hasn't been in a couple in a few years, but he told me then they were funded equally. They were funded equally, and he used he used to get the athletic directors would come to the legislature. Right. The athletic department from the Aggies would come, and they'd say, "Well, we fund you guys equally."
All right,
They're funded
find
equally.
out.
The difference is the other money that goes to athletic department.
Well,
Ticket sales.
Yeah, what they generate. Yeah, certainly. Look, I think you would agree, Mike, that there's a bigger corporate base here in Albuquerque. It's a bigger market. There's more money in this market than there is in Las Cruces. There's a bigger population to fill an arena or a stadium in Albuquerque than there is in Cruces. Do we agree with that?
Yes, I would certainly agree, but I also know. Well, look! What was it last week? Mario Moccia announced that they had just gotten like a $3 million gift.
Yeah.
To update the Pan Am.
Yeah.
So they have wealthy donors out there, right? That could contribute money, and even him, he came out and said, well, it's going to be a little hard filling up this stadium with only 100,000 people there. My answer to that is market your program. I know it's not easy. It's not easy in Albuquerque to market the Lobos, but that's what you have to do to be successful if it's about money.
It's interesting. All right, Mike.
You have to.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's a good point. Thanks for the call. All right, I think there's a difference. It's not apples to apples, and I'll find out. I got a couple notes out already on how they're funded. But JJ, I think we'd agree with a base population of almost 1 million people in Albuquerque. Well, not easy. It's easier to fill up buildings and stadiums than it is with a base population of 100,000 in Cruces, right?
Yes.
I mean, so that's real. To his first point, does Lobo fan root for Aggie fan in times like this? Yeah, it feels like it. Does Aggie fan root for Lobo fan in times like this? Maybe not as much. Little brother gets beat up more than big brother, right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And is that an indictment on Aggie fan? I don't know. You make it whatever it is you want to make out of it. The little brother gets beat up a lot more, and so they're gonna dwell in their, what's the right word? Shine. They're gonna enjoy their shine a little bit more, and they're gonna enjoy their rivals' downtimes more. Revel in that a bit. Johnny McCants at the bottom of the hour, 9:30 this morning. Looking forward to talking to the Aggies. Now former Aggie. I'm gonna get into some of the NFL stuff too, so we continue on the Jan stuff and the Aggie stuff. But boy, what a weekend in the NFL. Do you want to get in on United's victory in El Paso? You're welcome to do that as well. Hey, Marie's back. Hey, you're back.
Hey,
get in a little women. They're the Sweet 16 of the WNIT. Hey. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments.
5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Buck.
Terrific run by the Aggies. Now they're looking for a head basketball coach, both men and women. Deshaun Watson got paid, guaranteed. You got New Mexico United at 2-0 with a 2-1 victory in El Paso. It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. All right, so here's what I got on the funding thing, JJ. Operationally, I guess what New Mexico and New Mexico State, and this is what I was telling you, what they get from legislature annually is relatively the same. The difference tends to be in capital outlay money. From what I understand, New Mexico has gotten about $35 million more in the last 20 years than New Mexico State. So like when the pit renovations went down, most of that was paid by the state. Pan Am is doing renovations. They got that $3 million donor, right? They had to raise private money to pay for some of their renovations. So that's what I understand to be the differences. All right? So if that means anything to you. Plus, there's just a much bigger corporate base, bigger population base in Albuquerque than there is in Cruces. You know, I tell you this. How hard is it for? Let's say you want to go to every Aggie football game. All right, you can. You live in Albuquerque. You're an alum. You buy season tickets, and you've got your 5 or 6 Saturdays a year that you're going down there. You can do that. No, it costs. It's a commitment. It takes, you know, the 3-hour drive. Maybe it's a hotel room, but it's a commitment. But you do it. You want to go to a game in Albuquerque, and you live here. It takes you 20 minutes to get over to the stadium and park and go to the game, and it's basically a 4 to 5 hour commitment. Take a look at like Washington State. Pullman's such a hard place to get to. Look at the difference in Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night basketball crowds. That's why I always tell you about Laramie. Oh, why don't people go to their games? Did you ever try to get to Laramie? You finally have. You realize it's not close to anything. They got a 35,000 population. Cheyenne's a 45-mile drive in winter when it's hard to get there. How are you getting there on a Thursday night for an 8 o'clock start and getting your kid back to school in Cheyenne? I mean, that stuff does play into it. 505-246-0610. Grady, good morning to you.
Funding source evaluators of the OD and the AM. Good morning. What's happening?
What's happening? You good?
I'm doing all right. Almost had to have the EEG machine come and resuscitate me last night after the Wildcats game. But, you know, that's what this tournament's all about. Exciting games, and good finishes. So that's what I was going to talk about. And listen, I'm going to kind of take it back a little bit. I'm not one that's piling on the Mountain West or, oh, you guys look terrible, this and that. And I'll say it like this. Rudy called and said, you know, defended Michigan. Well, people said they didn't deserve to be in. They didn't deserve to be in. They had a poor conference and overall record, but because the Big Ten put in 28 teams, they got in. Now, deserving to get in and being able to win when you're there, those are two different things. Because, as we see, I think the Big Ten, after, again, all those teams, they have 2 in the Sweet 16. I think the SEC has, 1? So, just because you flood the brackets with all these teams, that, well, yeah, you're going to have some success. And you can pick 15 teams from one conference, or you can pick 12 teams from 12 different conferences and probably have the same outcome once you come to the Sweet 16. The cream will rise to the top. So I don't necessarily buy into the argument that, well, look at all these teams in one conference because they're just better. But, well, not necessarily. And the reputation that, the Mountain West has, we're so concerned about reputation. Oh, my goodness. What do people think about us? Now, that's been a New Mexico thing since we became a state 3,000 years ago. But, JJ, I think, said it best. It's like when we're running up to picking these squads for the tournament, your reputation, for the most part, doesn't factor into the decisions. It's your body of work for any particular year. Now, are announcers going to give you crap, or are people not going to bet on you? Well, sure. But as a basketball conference, I think the Mountain West is just fine, and they did have a good season. And if you look at the results of some of these conferences that got a ton of teams in, do they really look that much worse?
Fair. It's a fair analysis. I look at, what do I got? I got 3 Big 12s, 2 Pac-12s, right? Is that what I got? 1 SEC? Is that what I got?
Yeah, one SEC and 2 Big Ten. And again, the Big Ten had, I don't know how, they had, 9 teams? I mean, are you kidding me?
No, I got a lot. They had a lot, 2 ACCs. Yeah. Well, spread out. Fair enough.
I mean, and I was just going to say, in St. Peter's, again, do they deserve to be there? Well, people can argue against that, but again, deserving to be there and winning, 2 different things. So I'm all for you get more teams in there, get different teams in there, and you'll see some more stories, better stories, and you'll see that good basketball is played all across this country.
Everywhere. Yeah. All right, man. Good to hear you.
Appreciate the time.
Later. By the way, I'm looking at the pool that pick. I'm like 3rd to 5th to last out of 90. Like.
Okay, I want to know who picked Miami.
St. Peter's.
Show me those people.
Mm-hmm. Bobcat looked at us. When we did the.
Is he winning?
No, he's not winning. But we did bracket, right? If you pick a perfect bracket, you win $1 million.
Mhm.
And I said, but nobody's going to do it. And and he kind of looked at me. I said, no, your odds are better to win the lottery. He says, no, I mean, somebody's going to do it. You can do it. No, nobody's going to pick a perfect bracket. I mean, how do you got? Maybe you had St. Peter's and you took a win, but you have St. Peter's and Miami and Iowa State. You have that? Who's got that? Nobody's got a perfect bracket.
No one.
Yeah. Now, if you did a random pick, you'd have a better chance.
Yeah, there's brackets out there with those teams.
Yeah, but not.
But it's all the people who don't watch basketball that have those brackets.
God bless them.
Because that's the beauty of March Madness is you can fill out a bracket and be like, oh, I don't know about this. I haven't watched it. It doesn't matter. It's just a bracket. Your crazy picks can be right because this tournament is insane.
Somebody sent me, who's this? This is, Lobo Hobo sent me this link. This is from a KBIA in El Paso story, dated March 4th of this year. It says, quote, not fair at all. UNM Athletics to receive almost double the capital outlay project funding of New Mexico State. And Mario's quote is, it is what it is. And this story says the legislature funded about $4.53 million worth of capital outlay projects to UNM and $2.4 million, so almost half. Now, you decide why that is. Is that because Eddie's better at going up there and lobbying for it? It may be. It may be. So just to Mike's point that they're funded equally, I think they're funded equally operationally, but not annually are they funded equally in regards to capital outlay. And that's the way I've always understood it. And that's kind of what this is saying. All right, reply to Tony. Tony was in earlier, said, Jeff, in one sentence, tell me what the NCAA tournament is. Bruce says, I've learned every team plays in a tough conference. Yeah. If they won their conference, it toughened them up. If they lost, their conference wore them out. I didn't hear a single coach say we're only here because our conference sucks.
That's a good point.
Oh, that's fair. I've got a lot of people complaining about the officiating. Ken says the second most presaged words ever uttered on this OD, Jeffy, might be the world needs new refs. Every game I watched was poorly officiated. Even no-brainer calls were getting blown. Every game I watched, that fan base felt they were getting hosed. Have we made officiating so complex it's just not humanely possible to do a good job? I honestly don't know what a block charge call is anymore. It's from Ken. Make you feel any different about Mountain West officiating? It's not just your league. Look, it is so hard, JJ. It is such a hard game, and they play at such a fast pace. I don't know what a well-officiated game is anymore. I will tell you that the technical foul in the Illinois game was ridiculous.
Bad call.
Just ridiculous. There's bad and there's ridiculous. We're talking about safety, a guy going as fast as he can and hung on for safety reasons, and we give him a technical foul. There have been a few bad calls, but I mean, when I go back to the San Diego State game and the foul on Butler when he didn't touch him in overtime, that led to a 3-point play. That was a tough call. Do you think it's been overly bad, or are bad calls just really, really pronounced?
Bad calls are pronounced, but what you said, what is a good officiated game anymore?
Yeah.
Because we are to the point where we are all consciously looking at the officiating.
Frame
we
by
see every mistake, and we can't there's going to be mistakes in games, but what is the level of, or do people think they're seeing 10 bad calls a game versus maybe 3 or 4 in tough situations? The block charge, I have no idea what to do because everyone is losing their mind about those calls. So where is the game going with officiating?
Ryan says the Baylor-Carolina game was one of the worst officiated games I've seen. Okay. I don't know the answer. I don't know what a good call is anymore. Block charge. Look, there's so much contact in this game. It is a contact sport now. But I don't know what a block charge is anymore. John, we're going to get to when we get back. Bottom of the hour, Johnny McCants will be with us. 9:30 this morning is that time. 505-246-0610. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, New Mexico strong since 1958, is your home loan leader. Built in the heart of Albuquerque, it's their goal to help New Mexicans achieve the dream of home ownership with the right loans, local expertise, and a relationship built on trust. Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team is 100% local. That means your loan stays local. You will never send a payment out of state. Have a question when you reach out to talk to someone about your new home? You will talk to someone right here in Albuquerque. Meet the Kirtland Federal Credit Union mortgage team. Get started today at kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. kirtlandfcu.org/home loan center. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender. Membership eligibility required. See a representative for complete details.
Telling it like it is.
In between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out, it needs to be replaced. We're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're #1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out, it needs to be replaced. We're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jim Rome Show. Weekdays at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Hey, Marie, we have to give away tickets to Ty Murray Invitational. We better.
We better right now.
No, we'll do it
at the break.
Yeah, Johnny McCants will be with us coming up at 9:30, so you'll call Johnny. Can you handle both of those things?
Yes.
Can you handle, like, taking calls and then...
I can. I know. I haven't forgotten how to do the job. I got
I
this.
just want to make sure you can do that. All right, we'll give away tickets to go see the bull riding at the pit coming up this weekend. We'll do that at the end of this segment. 505-246-0610. John, thanks for holding. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, you know what? I officiated back in the day at the junior high school level. Even got to do the private school state championship. And watching the games all weekend, I couldn't get rhyme or reason out of some of the things they were calling. And a lot of the things that they don't call, like double dribble, the walking, and I mean, I just didn't know what to think. I mean, I just couldn't see rhyme or reason, and I did it for several years. And then, like, that technical they called and that dunk and that kid, I was like, that was just absolute BS. But I agree with you guys. I have no idea what they're doing and what they're calling, but the one thing I can say is at least they're calling it both ways. You know, they're not hosing teams like from small conferences the way they did the Aggies when they played Texas with Kevin Durant. It's going both ways, and that's all I got to say.
All right. I appreciate you.
Bad for everyone.
It's hard, man. It's really hard. And you know, I've asked you this about football. The more stuff they keep throwing in there, are they making it impossible to officiate? Right? Now I'm looking for this, and we're emphasizing that, and hand checking as opposed to this. So it's hard. And the more rules you throw in there, it's hard. Ryan just threw me another good name for the New Mexico State job, and I should have thought of this. What about Tony Benford? Tony Benford was a longtime assistant at the University of New Mexico. He's from Hobbs. He coached LSU in the tournament for a few rounds a couple of years ago when Will Wade was suspended. He's been at Texas Christian, TCU, the last few years. He was a head coach at North Texas. He's a legend in southern and southeastern New Mexico. That's a really interesting name. He's been in basketball forever. Was a very, very popular coach, assistant coach when he was here. Every time the Lobo job opened, I think his name has been up for it. It's an interesting name. So you got a few of them, huh? Tony Benford, Greg Marshall, Frank Martin, James Miller, William Benjamin. There's 5 names for you. Throw them on the board.
Put him on the list.
Who you
One
like?
thing with Mario Mocha,
Yeah.
he's always got that Rolodex working. He understands his position, his job, what happens with successful coaches at New Mexico State. And it's not alone, man. It's college athletics. Look at where all these coaches are going and coming from, and he's ready for this.
The text line says maybe they can pick up young Sheldon again. I'm sure Dr. Weir would go back, and they loved him. They really were hurt when he came to UNM. Okay.
They were hurt that he chose UNM, not necessarily that he left.
That's probably right. Text line also says population of a town means nothing. Well, it does mean something when you're talking about how many people you can get to go to games on a regular basis. How can it not mean anything? If I got 1 million people to draw from and 100,000 to draw from, how can it not mean anything when we're looking to get somebody to fill the arena on Thursday night? Tell me what I'm missing here. Population of a town means nothing.
It means something.
Kind of does. This one says, according to numbers that Mocha and New Mexico State have communicated in the past, UNM has received $35 million more than New Mexico State in capital outlay between 2005 and 2018. Yeah, I've seen those numbers. This one says, please ask Johnny if Jabari forgot his good luck charm in the hotel room on Saturday. Oof. Jabari Rice was with us last week when he was packing to go on the trip. The Aggie guard. Sorry, the Aggie guard. Yeah, I know. I did it. It's my bad. At least I didn't
What's
call
next? Or Texas A&M, Jeff?
Yeah, the Aggie guard. He was packing his grandmother's necklace for this trip. And, I mean, he played well with it in the first game, right? All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Dan says, Bush League, Jeffrey Juan Jose y regresando Ana Maria. Yesterday, I heard Lady Lobo fans tell me the women's NCAA is Bush. If they want to be taken seriously, teams shouldn't be allowed to host games in their gym. UNLV would have won that contest if they played it anywhere else. Of course, the folks complaining were enjoying watching the Lobos beat San Diego and Bob King Court. So, a couple of upsets in the women. First of all, Baylor getting beat was insane. UNLV almost had Arizona, the Mountain West representative, huh?
Yeah, UNLV was leading by 5 at the start of the fourth quarter, and they looked good. And they played well. Then Desiree Young fouled out late in that contest, and just kind of the athleticism of Arizona overwhelmed them inside late. But here's the thing. You saw Creighton win on the road at Iowa. You saw South Dakota State win at Baylor. It's really hard. But if you're, the women's game, well, I'm sure you'd like to regionalize it. The fact is you're selling more tickets. You're selling out those buildings for the higher seeded teams in the first round and get that atmosphere. And it is a challenge. Is it entirely fair? No. But it also brings a fantastic environment to the first round when if you're really good, you get to host the game.
So do you think that changes or that stays? Because for women's games, if they go to these neutral sites, so let's say they go to these regionals, like they go to San Diego or they go to Buffalo or whatever, and they bring in 8 teams, 16 teams, what are we bringing in? We're bringing in 8 teams. And maybe the Pitt got one, and you got, at the same time the men's tournament's going on, and you're going to ask me to go watch games between Jacksonville State and Auburn, Miami and USC, Colorado, Wisconsin, LSU, Iowa State, women. Am I going? Is anybody going? Or is this the way it goes in regards to the women's game? It should be on campus sites because it's obviously an advantage to get the higher seeds to move
no
on.
question.
You think it stays that way?
Oh, I think it stays this way, yeah. The home sites for the higher seeds.
Okay.
It's revenue, too.
Well, it is revenue. I think it's probably more revenue. Competitively, it's not the best. Because in the men's side, they go the exact opposite. They do not let a team play in their home arena. San Diego State hosted one of these regionals. They don't even call regionals. What do they call these first round, the first 2 rounds? Because the next one's regional. But San Diego State hosted the first 2 rounds, and they're not allowed to play there, right? Now Wisconsin can play in Milwaukee because it's not their home arena. Kansas can play in Kansas City all the time. UCLA can play at Staples Center because it's not their home arena. But you like it better that way for the women?
I think it's yes, because it's a competitive disadvantage, no question about it. But it also provides a ridiculous atmosphere, and it's a smaller stage. But I heard a couple of the San Diego players after the game yesterday saying that was the best atmosphere they've been in.
I'll bet it was
all year long. They're like, we enjoyed this so much.
Yeah, I'll bet they did.
And they lost that game.
Yeah.
So that's neutral site, postseason, it's supposed to be that way. But until you see people gravitate to neutral site games like that, this is the move for women's basketball.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Your emails come in, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. When we come back, Johnny McCants is scheduled to be with us. The New Mexico State Aggie had a terrific outing. Played his final game as an Aggie. We'll catch up with Johnny when we come back. Spring's in the air. Today's the first day of spring, actually. Time to get out, be active, get moving. Guys, how you feeling? Are you ready for spring? If not, if you're tired too often, feeling sluggish, maybe put on a few too many pounds, I suggest you call Numel. Maybe dealing with erectile dysfunction, Numel can help. It's helping guys all over the country deal with these very natural things. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or go online at Numel, Numel.com. MALE.com. Why do so many men visit New Male? Because it works. New Male utilizes industry-leading testosterone replacement to help men deal with these very natural symptoms. Fellas, reality is, as you age, there's a good chance you're going to be affected by these very natural things, but you don't have to succumb. Call New Male at 505-652-1688 and take care of it. New Male's right here in Albuquerque. Convenient, and it works. That's the beauty of New Male. The results are real. New Male, 505-652-1688. That's 505-652-1688, or visit newmail.com and feel better. All right, 2 tickets to go see the Time Murray Invitational, the PBR at the Pit this weekend. Caller number 4 right now, 505-246-0610. Caller 4, you're going to the PBR, courtesy of A. Marie and your good friends here at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's
Tickets?
favorite spot.
Who won them?
It's the
David Green.
All right, David. Enjoy it. We'll have more tomorrow. I think every day this week, right? That what Mandy told us? Mandy was is the promotion guru. Not was, is. And she's got those. We're working on Johnny McCants for you. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. 888-922-0610. I'm looking at the text line. How many people does Ames, Iowa, or Starkville, Mississippi, or College Station, Texas have to drop from? Well, College Station is basically Houston. So they got millions. I don't know the proximity. What do you think? I'll find it for you. I don't have the numbers in front of me. What Ames, Iowa, they're drawing for basketball every night on a Thursday. Look, on weekends for football, that's a whole different story. I agree with you. I agree with you on football. When you want to go down there and go watch football, but I think that's, I mean, we really want to have a football attendance conversation in this state? I mean, is that what we really want to do? When and they might come. When and they might come. Might. But yeah, it's a big difference. I'll get you numbers on Starkville and Ames. Difficult as it is to pick a perfect bracket, and with most people blown into degrees of nothing, there still exist Elite Eight, Final Four predictions. What are yours? All right, we'll get into that. We'll get there in a little bit. All right, a terrific run for New Mexico State. 53-48 was the score in Buffalo over the weekend, and it was the end of a insanely good career, and dare I say legendary for our next guest. He is a guy who went to high school at what was then Oñate, now Oregon Hills High School, or Oregon Mountain High School, in Las Cruces, stayed home, and has become one of the most popular New Mexico State players of all time. Went out with a bang, made an impact on a team that I think Aggie fans will remember forever. And on top of that, he's a new daddy. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We welcome to the program Johnny McCants, it's kind of crazy, the now former Aggie. Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Excellent. Appreciate you waking up and spending some time with us. First off, congratulations on being a daddy. You probably don't get much sleep, huh?
No, with him, I get quite a bit. He kind of sleeps at night a little bit, but I know the schedule, so.
Yeah, well, congratulations on that, and congratulations on a great run. I don't know, with the whirlwind that has been the last 48 hours or so, with so much happening, how do you put into words the run that this team went on, the emotions that you guys went through, and has it sunk in what this team did, what winning just that one game of the NCAA tournament meant for this program and these fans?
I would say it means a lot to everybody. It's something that hasn't been done like the past 30 years. The fans, they're diehard fans for the Aggies, and you can't put enough words or anything to cap off the fans on how much they love us or how much support they give us. And I feel like getting this win in the tournament, it's something big for the fans and for the school and for the program itself.
How do you describe your career? I mean, here's a guy, a hometown guy. There's not been a lot of homegrown Aggies. And for a guy who grew up there, stayed home, spent your entire college career there, I mean, I'm looking at this thing. 2017 feels like so long ago when you stepped on campus. And here you are, and you walk away. You're the winningest Aggie in the history of the program. You won more games than anybody else. And Chris Jan said, you will forever be a legend. How do you describe what this journey that you went on as an Aggie?
I would actually say it's been a roller coaster. Coming in my freshman year, I was recruited by Paul Weir, and I didn't really know what to expect because, it's my first year in college, and then it's his first year being a head coach. And he leaves after his first year, goes to UNM, and Coach Jans comes in. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I was going to be kept on the team. I didn't know if I was going to be going to a new school, but he chose to keep me. And I said it's a roller coaster just because I had a lot of ups and downs in practices and just going out throughout my whole life staying here. It's one of those situations where you can either put yourself in a good spot or a bad spot if you're in your hometown, and I feel like I put myself in a good spot. I stay focused on my task at hand.
You had a hell of a career. Johnny McCants is with us. He scored 16 points, had 12 rebounds, and the Aggies lost to Arkansas on Saturday, 53-48.
Johnny, you mentioned you can put yourself in a good spot or a bad spot. Did you have a good support system around you, or is this something that you personally just really had to focus on early in your collegiate career to find the best path for you?
I definitely had a good support system. My family, I love my family to death. They've been very supportive of me. My dad, my mom, and my brother and sister, they've been very, very supportive. They keep on pushing me. They keep trying to get me in the gym whenever I can. Like, my mom texts me at 1 in the morning or something. It's like, you trying to go to the gym? I'm like, Mom, it's 1 in the morning. Like, I need to get some sleep. But my family, they've been very, very supportive. The community's been very supportive. friends, just everybody really.
Johnny McCants joining us on the opening drive. Johnny, was there a moment too that it really clicked for you in college? When it was your redshirt freshman season after that, where you said, you know what, I can be a difference maker and I can make plays at this level.
I would say it happened probably my sophomore year, playing under Coach Jans. He's always told me, you just got to love the game, and he always told me, to me, son, you don't love the game like I know you should. Like, he could just feel the passion I have for the game, but he says I just don't love it. And I kept telling him I do love the game, but at the time, I personally felt like I didn't love the game. But playing under him and him giving me support and energy, it made me love the game a lot more just because he pushed me to be a better basketball player.
He's the mayor of Las Cruces, Johnny McCruces. Johnny McCants is with us on the opening drive. Every Aggie player we've had on this show over the last 5 years has praised Chris Jans, and obviously you guys love him. How did it go down? When did you know that Chris was leaving? Obviously for you, you're leaving the program too, but there's guys that aren't leaving that are going to be there. Did you know prior to playing these games in Buffalo? When did you know that Coach Jans was leaving for Mississippi State, and how'd that go down with the team? How did Chris tell you guys?
Every year that he's been here, he had major success. We've made our runs. We've made history almost every year that he's been here. It's like after every season, a new opportunity can come, so you never can really just sit back and be like, oh, yeah, this is going to be our coach next year, or what can really happen, just because college basketball, it's really a business, and he's trying to take care of his family, too. I didn't know that he was going to Mississippi until, after the game. He came and talked to us the morning after, and he let us know at hand, and he told us before we could either read media outlets or stuff on Twitter or just stuff all over the news. He wanted us to know by himself first.
How was it taken by you guys? How was it received?
Very distraught, just because, the legacy that he built here, just the fan support he has, the love he gives his student athletes, the love he gave me. I mean, I wouldn't change my college coach ever. He's been there for me. He's had my back. And I would say it's kind of a different situation for me just because I'm not going to be playing college again. But for the other players or the players that he's already coached, you could see how it affected them. I feel like they just don't want him to leave just because, the personal relationship that they have and, of course, the basketball relationship that they have.
What is it about him? And I've asked Jabari this. Trevlin Queen talked about him. Guys, a lot of guys can coach basketball, no X's and O's. What is it about Chris that's really resonated with you young men in this program?
I would say his drive for winning, his drive for understanding his players, his ability to give players second chances. There's not many coaches in the world that would give their players second chances or third chances, but he gives players second chances, and he loves to watch kids grow. He loves to watch college players get better at basketball, college players be better in the community. He's a basketball coach, and he's also a life coach. He's preparing us for the future. So I feel like he kind of fits in as a good role model to look after, as providing himself for a future, really. He really cares. He puts his whole heart into it. And you guys can really tell how much he cares about basketball, how much he cares for his players and everything.
Johnny, what was it like in Buffalo? Can you kind of just take it inside take us inside what it was like being on that court, the game against UConn, going toe to toe with Arkansas. What's it like in that span of 3 days, 2 games, being in that huddle, being on that team in those moments?
It felt like it wasn't nothing new. It felt like we should be there, that it was our opportunity, that we had the best chance, that we got put in the best spot for us. It was just exciting for me. I just love playing basketball and being able to continue to play after the WAC championship or playing postseason. It's really a blessing. I get to continue to play with my teammates, the seniors. I would say I don't have any words to, recap off of everything that happened in Buffalo, because it's just so much. And, I was just very, 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 very fortunate to be there.
Hey, Johnny, there was a moment in the second half. You drove down the lane. You had that emphatic dunk, brought you within 2. Sitting in my living room watching the emotion on your face, you can almost feel it coming through the screen. I know you've seen the replay. Can you walk us through that moment? Because it felt like so much was on Teddy, and they did a great job on Teddy. Somebody else had to step up, and that somebody else was Johnny McCants. So talk about that moment. You drive down that lane. You have that huge dunk. You let out that roar. What was that like?
It's something that I haven't done personally by myself, like in a tournament like that. It's either I catch a lob or it's either I put back. But on that particular play, I was looking forward to shooting it, but he just closed out and went for the shot fake. And I was kind of surprised by the open lane I had, because every time that's happened to me, the lane always shrunk. The defense closed in on me, and I had to kick it out. But having the opportunity to throw down a dunk like that and just feel the crowd's emotion, the energy in the place, and just knowing my teammates were behind me, and just the energy that I can feel off the bench, and just the feeling I can get from my coaches. It's just energetic, a bunch of passion just going through my veins, my blood, and letting out the roar just tops it all off.
So good. What's next, Johnny? More hoops? What do you got going?
I definitely want to continue to play. I just want to continue to play my heart out. I want to be able to, make money for my family, just be able to support my mom and dad, support my brother, my sister, support my son. I want to support my fiance. I just want to be able to continue to play my heart out and be financially stable just for my family.
Well, we'll catch up. Congratulations on a great career. And I think Chris Jans is right. Forever, you will be a legend in New Mexico state lore. You are the mayor of Las Cruces, and man, you gave a lot of people a lot of memories. Congratulations on being a daddy. Enjoy little Johnny, and best to you. Appreciate you spending some time with us this morning, Johnny.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Be well. Congratulations on everything. Johnny McCants. That's just the mayor of Las Cruces. Just terrific stuff. You can respond to that. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
I'm Ben Lucero, president and owner of Indigo Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage company right here in New Mexico. This means your loan officers and processors are right here to serve you. Our mortgage divisions include residential, commercial, construction, reverse mortgages, and VA mortgage loan. Indigo Mortgage, because nobody cares more about your mortgage loan.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
You trusted your home or business security to a company with an armed response. They sold out to a national corporate giant, and you're stuck on the brink of less security. I'm Aaron Jones, owner of International Protective Service. IPS isn't for sale. I'm invested here, and I care about your home and business as if it's my own. Let the highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols of IPS protect what's yours. With faster response times to catch criminals and less associated costs. Call 897-2420 or go to ipsglobal.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
610, the sports animal.
Who comes in here every day and just moves all the chairs around? I'm in the sinking chair again. All right, so Ryan did some research for you. By the way, Johnny was great. If you want to get in on that, please do. And your point that maybe Las Cruces just doesn't care is fair. So as of March 10th of this year, New Mexico State average in basketball was 54-28. That included that one horrible, right? They had that one really bad one after when they stopped selling concessions. Remember? The Pac-12 average was 6,249. That's 800 more than New Mexico State. New Mexico's average was 8,697, so it's about 3,000 more. Iowa State is 40 miles from Des Moines. They average 12.8. Mississippi State, 6,900. So whatever that means to you. All right, you want to get in on that too? Terry, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning to all of you. It was great to talk to A. and have her back in, join the crew back. So the I guess as we call it, three jerks are back together.
That's
as a
right.
whole. You know, from the officiating, you know, Grady, props to your Arizona team, but you're very happy with the call. TCU fans were quite upset with that call at the end of regulation. The thing I wonder is, do we complain more? And I'm one to be complaining about refs, but now that the last 2 minutes seem to me important on certain calls, is it just made it that the other 38 minutes don't care, like the Iowa kid that got fouled on a three-point shot? And, you know, like you said, you had the technical, and then, we now know where the Mountain West refs went. They went to do the Baylor, North Carolina game. They had 53 fouls called in that game. So it's
hard,
something where
man.
it's very hard. I'm the first one to say it is not easy to do, but, you know, when they spend 10 minutes on wondering who touched the ball that went out of bounds with, 45 seconds to go, but the rest of the game live with whatever they call, and it's hard, but they miss a lot, and so you play on and you hope your team survives and does well. The one Final Four team I thought I had the most faith in was obviously Kentucky, and they went out the first game, so that was all my fault on my bracket that way. So plug along. St. Peter's, props to them. It's always nice having something different come in, but they did say, if you lose your first game in your conference tournament, you're not going anywhere. I thought, really? And both Auburn and Baylor proved that right. So, we have it going on. I now have my second favorite team to hate in the NFL. And no, I'm not going to stop watching games. But, yes, every time I watch Cleveland, I'll root they lose because I just think it's sad. Thank God he didn't put bet $50 on a game. He would have been out for a long time. But, it's from that standpoint. And them saying they looked into it thoroughly, sure, whichever. So, Cleveland, maybe you can – both of you guys should get on with TJ in the afternoon, Mr. Browns fan, and see how he thinks of this. Some people will be like, as long as we win, who cares? But that's different. But from Jan's, props to him. I thought maybe he was going to be a K-State coach, but good luck to him. People deserve a chance. He's earned it. Whether it goes well or not, get your chance, run with it.
Take it.
It might pay off, and if it doesn't, I'm sure he'd find a job somewhere else. But,
he'll be fine.
He's earned it.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
All right. No,
So-
Terry, appreciate you. And I'm going to give you TJ's response, and thanks for the call. So I asked TJ over the weekend, I said, how you feeling about this? I don't like it. I don't like it. Hold on. My throat's scratchy today. I can't do it, my TJ. He says, I don't like it. Haslam screwed Baker over big time. Deshaun, elite player, immensely talented, but character issues. Had to give up 3 first-round picks for him, may get suspended for the first several games. Then again, if we make it to the Super Bowl, ... See? That's how Brown fan feels. All of them. Man, I don't know. But if we win...
Yeah, we get it. We've been here and done that. We like to talk, hey, that is so bad, character, morals, blah, blah, blah. Dude's talented. And Cleveland then trying to spin it like, we did our due diligence, this or that. No, you guaranteed him the most money. So that is
$230 million.
why he picked you. You didn't give Deshaun Watson the chance. You were desperate, and you went after the talent. We get it. Don't try to spin it to us.
What does it do for civil suits? Like all those women know he's got all this money guaranteed. You know what I mean? Now you go after more, don't you? Anyway. Thanks to Mario Mocha, the athletic director at New Mexico State, Johnny McCants, the now former, it's crazy, now former Aggie, who was really good, by the way. Jim Rome Show is next. I heard with Colin Coward after that. 2 Men On come your way at 4. We're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. Hey, Marie, welcome home.
Hey. I'm back. Come see me at Rebel Wednesday.
Wednesday, Rebel. Hey, Marie is on stage. Wednesday?
Good long set, yep.
Sweet. Good long set?
Yeah, 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Kylie Ottman bodies that ball. Ava Love, wide open bucket. She drifts through the air and knocks it home. So
out of the corner, no. Nora with the rebound, quickly gets it ahead to Louise. In transition, the left-hand layup is good for Luciano Webster.
Oh, Lyra Corona, she has a chance to change that story. She does.
Diaz now with the ball. It's a 3-point lead. Montoya, she tries to equalize. Boom! Olivia Montoya with her second 3-ball of the second half.
There's an assist from half court on the inbounds pass.
That's a long shot. The laser shot. Holy cow. Closes down quickly. Garcia Romero for 2.
With the rebound, here comes Benjamin. Throw it up. He's going to throw it up to his big fella, and his third dunk of the night. Hey, remember, Greg Brown doesn't have any timeouts. They get it into Hill. Hill's going to have a chance to win it at the hole. Yeah! He does it. Hill bangs in the three, and the Hawks win it 60-59.